It's me, Mrs. Ramirez, and I'm going to model Magical Model Magic. As you can see, the Model Magic comes in a variety of convenient packages. One of the projects we did with the Model Magic was to try to mix the exact color of the monster that represented us in Class Dojo. Here's my monster. And then we tried to take the two-dimensional monster and turn it into a three-dimensional form. All of the colors you see were mixed with the primary color Model Magic. You can see it really makes vibrant secondary colors, and we didn't get to the tertiary colors. For the black, I tried to mix a black Crayola marker, and of course it had a more bluish or more violet hue to it when it mixed. You can see that it dries to sort of a foam-like texture, but it is fragile enough to break. You can see some of the cracking, but it's easily repaired with some glue. For the next 5 minutes, you'll be able to see how this Model Magic behaves. When you first pull it out of the package, it's very moist. You can see some of it sticks to the inside of the package, and you just sort of use the other piece to pick it up. You can see when you stretch it, it has sort of a very lovely foam marshmallowy type of texture, but it leaves your hands and the surface of your workspace completely clean, and it's extremely pliable for little weak fine motor skills, little weak muscles. Forgive this strange camera angle, but this is a totally improvised tripod. It's actually a tape holder with my iPhone propped up against it. Also, please forgive my ink-stained fingernails as we're doing a printing unit as well. You saw as I jabbed my fingernail in there, it holds the impression that you place in it, so it actually works really well with texture and texture plates. As you can see, I've taken a Sharpie and I've written directly on wet Model Magic. It's very magical and it stretches and moves. That is a Sharpie. You can take that, you could do some really nice marbling effects with it. Again, super pliable. When you tear it apart, it sort of rips. It doesn't quite bounce, but you can see that lovely marbling if you wanted to do some sort of marbling project. So now I have given in the past students a bucket of old cheap markers, and we just go ahead and color directly on the surface of the Model Magic, and then I have them blend that color into there, and it makes a lovely set of tints if you are teaching tints for some reason. The marker does end up getting on your fingers, but the Model Magic doesn't. This worked great for pushing into the classroom. Kids didn't need to wash their hands when they were done. Again, look at the way that the Model Magic absorbs the marker, and well, I'm just giving it a good coating of green so that I can get a darker green. And you'd be surprised how long it takes a young student, a kindergarten student, to just get that color mixed around. They only need a quarter-size piece if you want to do any color experimentation. I find that they just try to roll it rather than really blending it or squeezing it. So there's a really nice tint of green there. And then I'll show you what it looks like when you add the red. So they can literally sculpt a creature and then color directly on top of it while it's wet. I just love this stuff. Or you can allow it to sort of air dry, and over the course of a day or two, it dries to the consistency of, sort of slightly malleable foam. It's very airy and porous. Now I just want to show you a little bit about how it behaves when you're trying to adhere pieces to it. Sorry about the camera angle. Again, it's just gently touching the two colors together, and look at what a strong bond that is. There's no liquid involved, there's no slip, there's no scoring. But you could teach young students elements of form really well with this, and basic sculpting ideas. Look at the way I'm just twisting that, and it's making that lovely like soft serve ice cream feel. And it's very soft, but it holds its shape. Now I want to show you how thin and tall I can make it without it flopping over. Just gonna expand the screen a little so you can see. So here's gravity now. It will flop and it will fall. So if the student's making long appendages, they will flop. So they have to, you could do a mini lesson on gravity. Here's my pen, and I'm making those nice impressions that stay. And here's my Sharpie. I think I'll add eyes. How about a mouth? So you could see the implications for this, for stop action. I think this is the ideal sculpting material. And here's a picture of their happy little monsters. In retrospect, I would have just slowed this project way down. The final product could have been just a lot nicer, but we rushed. We tried to get out the markers, and we started adding features when we weren't really ready. We took so much time to mix those colors and get them just right. So anything that you don't use, you just wrap up in plastic wrap, and it stays good for a long time. It won't stay good forever wrapped up. It'll eventually dry out, but you can get a lot of mileage out of every little package of model magic. Thank you for allowing me to indulge and continue to practice on Apple clips. Thanks for watching.